My first question is, what are your dreams like?
I don't really remember them. I don't have many dreams, and I think my problem is that's because I'm all dreamed out. I think my days are full of, they're labor and they're incredible work, but I'm surrounded by so much. Like, my mind is constantly going, I'm running the movie in my head, so I really don't have like these kind of, people think I have this in my head and when I sleep. When I sleep, well, I barely sleep, so that's my big problem. Maybe that's why I don't dream.
You've done an outstanding job with this movie. It is so
Thank you.
Beautiful, and I want to know how you start from thinking in your head how this is going to look to make it look like this.
Well, I start, first of all, with this sort of thing of, not what do I want to make, but what do I need to make? Like, I might want to do a rom-com. Sometimes I go, I just want to make something really simple, quick, fast, and fun. But then I go, I'm on a train in Siberia and I re-listen to Gatsby on a recorded book and I go, wow, that's us. That's who we are. This is this time. How could I maybe reveal that in a way in which it felt like you were reading the book in 1925, and then I get stuck with this crazy idea and I can't let it go and it can't let me go, and 10 years go by and I get the rights and I have a life and my children come and I'm still doing it, and I even when I try and walk, something happens, and even when I try and walk away from these ideas, I'm a bit like Al Pacino in The Godfather, they pull me back in. So there I was, Gatsby, and now I go, oh, please don't say it's in 3D, but it has to be because Fitzgerald was a modernist. I see the Hitchcock, made in the 60s, it's a drama medium. I think, nah, 3D is going to be a dramatic medium. Fitzgerald would have done it. I've got to do it. I've got to put up with the noise and all the mud and all that. So that's how it goes.
It's awesome.
That's how it rolls.
And then you have to pick a cast. And I have to say, I remember way back in the 1970s watching the original Great Gatsby, and I think that's when I fell in love with Robert Redford.
Right.
And we look at, Leonardo DiCaprio in this movie, and I'm thinking, oh my God, matinee idol. I mean, why was he...
Well, Robert Redford was responsible for this movie, my version, because my dad ran the cinema for a short time, and I said, which Catch the Sundance Kid? I was 7. I went, that is the coolest man I've ever seen, and his sidekick ain't bad either. And then I saw Sting, and I went, those two are super cool. I saw Gatsby, and I remember thinking, he's cool, it's beautiful, but I didn't know who Gatsby was. Now, Francis Ford Coppola, who helped me on this, who wrote the screenplay to the Redford version, said what I did was I went out to all the other texts of Fitzgerald. So Francis was a great support. I even read a book, actually, about the making of that 70s version, and Redford himself wanted to put more of the flashback in. He wanted to put the Dan Cody story in, and they didn't do it. He was right. So I don't think in any way there's that version, and it looks like Hamlet. Which is your favourite one? The one that was done by Olivier, or the one you saw done by the young kid in London last month? If it's a great work, it's there to be done many times in many different ways.
So why Leo, though? Leo, he's just
what's the list? I mean, let's tick it off, okay? It's got to be like, first of all, Leonardo has natural charisma, but he's burdened with being not just a matinee idol. He is, in fact, one of the greatest actors of all time. Complexity, depth, nuance, and he's fully in control of that instrument of his. I mean, if he's an actor and he's acting as an instrument, it's a Stradivarius. And, like at that age, at this time, that role, well, I mean, what's the list? So that wasn't a decision. That was just part of there was the book and Leonardo. And then it was everything else. And Tobey came very quickly too, because I would have thought of Tobey, but I've known them. Leonardo, one of the things about Leonardo, he is actually a really warm and good person. And he's surrounded, all those people he's known, I've known them for nearly 20 years. Those friends have been there all that time. And those parents of his are just some of my closest friends. I adore those people.
Yeah, he's grown up beautifully, that's for sure.
Yeah, you know what? I hope I could do half as good a job as they have done with Leonardo, with my kids.